Órale, Cholo Trucker here, Los Tres Chingones Boxing. Let me put the banner up, Palms. Nice little, let me see, where's it at? There we go. Just a little surprise live real quick, man. I got a little free time on my hands, but not only that, Holmes. So a question was asked, what's up, Dos Matador? A question was asked on one of our lives, right? And I don't remember the question word for word, but it was somewhere along the lines of like, hey, who's the next one in line, right? I don't really care how you feel about Canelo, but nonetheless, he is the thing, right? And it's like, hey, who's the next one in line, homie? When he's gone, he's what, 33 years old now? Probably got about another 3 years in him, maybe 2 years before he really starts fading. So when the question was asked, like, hey, who's the next big thing? It kind of stuck in my mind, Holmes. And I'm like, you know what? That's a good question, man. Who is the next big thing? My eyes, I was thinking about Virgil Ortiz. What's up, JM? I was thinking about Virgil Ortiz. To me, that was probably the next big thing, Holmes, right? When we're talking about Mexican or Chicano boxers, once Canelo takes off, or once he really, really starts declining, I was thinking, you know what, Virgil looks good. He looks great. But we all know what's going on with Virgil Ortiz right now. We have no idea if he can even continue doing what he's doing. So let's just put Virgil Ortiz aside for now. Just for now. Hopefully he can come back to the sport just as good as he once was and even get better, because I really do love that kid. But just for now, let's just put that kid aside. And let's think about anybody and everybody else. Who can be the next big thing once Canelo either hangs it up or he declines to the point where he can't be great anymore? Some people are saying that he's already starting to show that. I'm not there yet. I'm not in agreement with that. I think he's probably peaked, but I don't think he's on a decline. So when I started asking this question, Holmes, I started talking to people, right? Especially over the weekend, because that question did stick with me. And I started asking people. Everybody kept on coming up with the exact same name. Oh, man, that little guy that fought Tank. Oh, man, he beat Tank. Oh, man, he got robbed, Holmes. Yeah, that little guy. Pitbull Cruz? Yeah, that guy. Dog, that vato, man. That dude's badass. And it leaves me kind of scratching my head. Now, we'll go over a few lists of names in just a minute, but it leaves me scratching my head a little bit, man, because I did go see Pitbull Cruz fight live when he was in the undercard of King Kong Ortiz versus Andy Ruiz. And I'll tell you guys this, man, he's got a big fan base. It was crazy to see, homie. What's up, JC? I was like, damn, this dude's got a fan base, Holmes. But what does he have a fan base for, though? Now, I want to make it clear, homie. I'm not going to start hating on Pitbull. I'm just not sure if I'm seeing what everybody else is seeing, or are they seeing what I'm seeing? I like Pitbull. I think he's a solid fighter. But I'm gonna be real with everybody, Holmes. I don't see greatness. I see a good fighter, a really good fighter. But I don't see greatness. Does anybody believe that he could clean up 135 pounds? I don't. Pitbull is a badass. Don't think he's the next big thing. I don't think so either. He's 25 years old. He's still pretty young. He's fan-friendly fighter. Let's pump the brakes on Pitbull. Okay, let's talk about Pitbull real quick, dog, because, people keep on telling me, oh, Pitbull, Pitbull. Okay, listen, man. I never heard anybody, no one, not one person, not one, mention Pitbull Cruz until the fight he had with Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, he's been in some fights before that. He beat Diego Magdaleno. He beat Francisco Vargas. I didn't hear any hype. None. I didn't hear anybody saying like, "Ooh, man, you see this Pitbull Cruz what he did to Diego Magdaleno?" Nothing. Almost like if it never happened. It wasn't until the Gervonta Tank Davis fight, that's when I started hearing everybody, oh man, Pitbull, Pitbull, Pitbull. Okay, cool, dog. I got no problem with that. I'm not hating on the Vato. He's a solid fighter. He did good. Personally, this is just me, Holmes. Personally, I thought he lost. I thought it was a draw or he lost. A lot of people say, he got robbed, man. He got robbed. Of course they gave it a Tank. Of course they gave it a Tank. Okay, hey, that's cool, man. It was a close fight. It was a competitive fight. I liked the fight. But I don't think he beat Tank Davis. And since then, we're going back. Check it out, chingones. We're going back to December of 2021. Since then, Holmes, people have been calling for the rematch of that fight. Now, I'm not against it. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and tell you guys this. At first, yeah, I wanted it to happen again. Now, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure if that should be the next fight. People hate Tank Davis. People want to see Tank Davis lose. I'm going to ask you guys this. Do you guys think Pitbull will beat Tank Davis? Because I don't, dog. In order. Now, we know boxing, Holmes. Boxing, the politics that come with boxing and everything. There is no way that Pitbull is going to score a decision over Tank. It's not going to happen. Unless Pitbull drops Tank Davis 2 or 3 times in that fight, there is no way they will give a decision to Pitbull over Tank. And by the way, I don't see him dropping him either. I pretty much just see pretty much a repeat. Let me see. Pitbull versus Broner. Let's makes sense. Broner he just can't make any weight though, man. What's up, Andres? On a rematch, I don't know. I think he could pull it off though. Look, I think he could pull it off in people's minds, but with the judges, he's not gonna pull it off, Holmes. He's not going to pull it off. It's just to piss everybody off again and have people say, oh, man, they robbed him. He's not going to get a decision over Tank Davis. Let's see. He could TKO him. I don't know, JM. I don't think so. I don't think so, man. Look, as much as people hate Tank Davis, he's a stocky little dude, Holmes. I'm not telling anybody to like Tank. I'm not telling anybody to like Pitbull either. All right, but if we're going to keep it real, let's keep it real, dog. I don't see Pitbull Cruz stopping Tank. I don't see him dropping on either. I see him giving him a good fight. I see pretty much just a repeat. He's for damn sure not going to get a decision, even if he does win most of the rounds. They're going to give it a Tank. Now, Pitbull, since the Tank fight, okay, which is when he became, a star pretty much. Since then, Holmes, he's fought Yorioki Gamboa, which we already know. Gamboa is already, he's not washed up, Holmes. He's been washed up. Gamboa has been washed up. He was a good, solid fighter quite a few years, Yorioki Gamboa. But he's been washed up. He fought Eduardo Ramirez, and now he's got a fight coming up. I believe it's in the undercard of the Crawford versus Spence fight. He's fighting Giovanni Cabrera, which is a decent, decent fight, I guess. But what has Pitbull done? Again, I'm not hating on the Vato, dog. I like watching him fight. But what has he done since the loss to Tank Davis? He's fought 2 times. One against Yorioki Gamboa, well past his prime Yorioki Gamboa, and Eduardo Ramirez. He's got a fight coming up. Cool. That's freedom, man, dog. What I don't want is after the fight that he's got with Giovanni Cabrera, now it's time for him to fight Tank. Hey, dog, let me go ahead and talk to all the Tank haters out there. Are you satisfied with Tank fighting Pitbull Cruz? Think of the opponents he's had. Are you really satisfied? Aren't you calling Tank Davis to fight the biggest names? Are you really satisfied if he fights Pitbull Cruz? Because I'm not. If we're going to call out Tank Davis and say, hey, Holmes, you ain't fighting anybody, dog. You are becoming a star because you beat Ryan Garcia? You want to call yourself the face of boxing by beating whom? Who did you beat? But it's the same people that say that keep calling for, oh, man, I want to see him fight Pitbull Cruz. Like, wait, I thought you said you want this guy to fight the best. And while I think Pitbull Cruz is a good fighter, I think he's a solid fighter. I think he can give a lot of guys problems. He's not the best, Holmes. Tank, get in there with the Shakur Stevensons. Get in there with Lomachenko. Get in there with some of those names, man, before I start throwing out the name Pitbull Cruz. It'll be an entertaining fight. It'll be a solid fight, absolutely, dog. But there's no way I'm putting any money on Pitbull. Chale, dog. Let's go over a couple of names that I was talking about when the question was brought up. When Saul Canelo Alvarez, when he's gone, who's going to be around to take over? And just like I said a little while ago, let's just put Virgil Ortiz to the side just for now, because we don't know exactly what's going on with him. But he would be a solid pick. All right, so I'm pulling up a couple of names. Let's go over them. Let's see. I'm just typing in top 10 Mexican fighters right now. Luis Alberto Lopez, featherweight. Hey, the Spencer dog, but featherweights ain't gonna take over. It just is. You guys know what I'm talking about. It just is. Okay, you can't really put bantam weights. You can't put, those really small dudes to take over and run the sport of boxing or be the face of boxing. You become a star, sure. But if we're gonna start getting to low weight classes, I'd rather throw Ben Rodriguez in there. Let me see. Shoot, I think I missed a lot of you guys. Hold on, man. Let me see what you guys are saying. Pitbull needs a knockout. Yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, that's definitely a start. It's definitely a start. Let me see, Sean. Pitbull versus Romero or Broner. Comeback fight. But we will never see Tank versus Pitbull again. I don't think we see Tank versus Pitbull again. And if we do see Tank versus Pitbull again, it's only to satisfy the haters of Tank Davis while the fight is being made. But once the fight is over, it's only to piss them off even more, because there's no way Tank Davis is winning that fight, man. Broner is messed up mentally. Yeah, he is. Let me see. It would be like the second fight with Mayweather and Maidana. Yeah, somewhere around there. I mean, look, the stipulations that, think about it now. All right. Everybody, take a quick moment to think about it now. The stipulations that Tank put on Ryan Garcia. This dude's feeling himself, man. And that was Ryan Garcia. Now, is Pitbull Cruz a better fighter than Ryan Garcia? Hell yeah. But he's not a bigger star. And if Tank was able to put those stipulations on Ryan, come on, dog. On a Pitbull Cruz, come on, man. His third tune-up fight after Tank. That's what I'm saying, JC. That's what I'm saying. Pitbull, what are you doing? Hey, don't get me wrong. I'm glad you're staying busy. Somewhat. You haven't fought this year. This year is half over. Well, we're past the halfway point, and you haven't fought this year, Pitbull. It's like you're waiting. You're sitting for that Tank Davis fight, man. Yeah, he needs to pick it up. Oh, like a rematch. Tank, a paper champion, low key, and she plant boxer. And I think a lot of people are saying that. But at the same time, people are going to be satisfied if Pitbull gets in, if Tank chooses to fight Pitbull again. Yet there are some real top dogs at 135 for Tank. But they just want to see him against Pitbull because they truly believe that Pitbull won the first fight. I don't know if they truly believe that or that was just the bias. Tank won't box him either. Hey, that Monster is good, man. I like Monster anyway. All right, let's get back to the list. All right, Jaime Munguia. Okay. Hey, man, Jaime Munguia is in for a world of hurt once he starts stepping in there against real good competition. I mean, he got in there against Deverenchenko, and you guys saw the results of that. Personally, I thought he lost. That's cool. I don't think it was a robbery. That's fine that they had Munguia win. I wasn't super duper upset like, orale, dog, they completely robbed him. Nah, it was a good fight. It was a good back and forth fight. I was at that fight, man. It was one heck of a good time. Zurdo Ramirez. I mean, do I really need to explain anything about this dude? This fool, he's only got two things going for him. He's big and he's a southpaw. That is it. That is it. I can't name you anything that guy does anything good in that ring. He is so average, so mediocre, maybe even below that. But he's big, and he's a southpaw. Ray Vargas, Luis Neri, nobody even looks his way. Emmanuel Navarrete, okay, I mean, he's solid, right? He's got a fight coming up with Valdez. That'll be good. But neither one of them are the next thing. Mauricio Lara, Bronco, not happening, man. Francisco Estrada, again, those small guys, it's kind of hard for them to take over once Canelo takes off. That's all the names on this list, but I mean, I could think of a few more. Diego Pachenko, I don't know if anybody sees any greatness in that kid. I'm not really sure. There's way too early. I think that kid needs to fight. Oh, man, he needs to be fighting 3 times, hopefully maybe 4 times a year. Pitbull Cruz at 25 years old. I think we've seen. I honestly, man, I think we've kind of seen Pitbull peak. If I think of the landscape right now at 135, I don't see him getting to the top. Here's another, you know what? Here's another thing, man, because he's a short dude. I think he's only like 5'4". If he goes to 130, can you mix it up with those guys down there? Yeah, probably. That'd be pretty good. Let me see. There's none. If anything, Pachenko. Yeah, probably. Let me see. Ruiz Jr. heavyweight. If he fights Wilder, especially. And if knocks out Wilder, I like Ruiz Jr. in that fight because he has the most solid chin and hook combos in that fight. Oh, man. Hey, look. I was a fan of Andy Ruiz. Okay, I was. But if we're going to keep it real, Holmes, let's keep it real, dog. Once he got that big paycheck, once he got that payday, that was it. That was it, man. I still think he's a good fighter. I do believe that he does stand a chance against somebody like Deontay Wilder. Yes. But while I do believe he does got some great boxing skills, some fast hands, some good combinations, I'm just not sure if he's got the discipline to master it. So, I was a fan. And remember, when he lost to Anthony Joshua, dog, that dude took a long layoff. Like, hey, man, where you at? Where are you at? Enjoying his riches. And even now, how busy do you see him? And by the way, Andy Ruiz, he's not a super young man. I think he's like 31, getting close to 32 years old. Now it's heavyweight. I get it. You go a little longer in the heavyweight division. But I don't see that dude, man. I just don't see the fire in him. Skill-wise, yeah, it was pretty badass to see. But that was it, man. Once he started Once he started making that money, that was it, man. You guys act. Let me see. Pitbull turned into a little Donna. He's not fighting enough. And Paula, I mean, he hasn't fought this year. He fought 2 times. You guys act like he died. If you're talking about Andy Ruiz, I think his passion died for boxing. I still think he can have a couple of good fights. But again, if Canelo goes down, when Canelo goes down, who's going to be the next guy to take over? It's not going to be Andy Ruiz. And I don't think it's going to be Pitbull Cruz either. I put up Pitbull Cruz because that's everybody. Everybody keeps throwing that name at me. Oh, yeah, that little guy that fought Tank. That little guy that fought Tank, man. All weekend long, I was, after doing the live with my boys, Mike Zavala and David Contreras, I think it was Mike Zavala that threw a question out there, and it just stuck in my head. I said, you know what? I'm gonna be asking people throughout the weekend, man. I'll be out and about. I'll be doing a few things. I started asking people. I'm like, hey, once Canelo goes under, he is 33. Once he goes under, who's gonna be the next big star, man? Who's gonna be the next top Mexican fighter? And I got the same answer every single time. Every time. Oh, that little guy, man. That little guy that they robbed the fight from. The little guy that fought Tank Davis. And it's amazing to me on how much people hate Tank Davis that they're really putting Pitbull Cruz on this pedestal, man. I like Pitbull. I want to see Pitbull fight. I'm a fan of Pitbull. But he's not going to be the next big thing, man. Let's see. He bought a taco truck and never looked back. Hey, look, he made the money, man. Hey, do what you want with it, Andy. You're not legally obligated, Holmes, to, keep that fire burning and, want to be the best of all time. Hey, if you just want to go there, make the feria and say like, that's it, homie, I'm out. I got me a taco truck. Hey, that's your right, man. Boxers like Andy Ruiz don't aspire to be okay at that fight, in my opinion, for achieved a bang. Yeah, go. And that's kind of what I saw, man. I mean, look, he beat Joshua, right? And everybody was like, oh, damn. What's up, Caesar G? Everyone's like, oh, damn, right? Like, where'd this dude come from, man, right? And then, orale, it's time for the rematch. Now, before that, leading up to that, he's all like, man, I got to get in shape. I got to start looking like Joshua, which, of course, he was kind of joking around, but he was being serious about he's got to get a little bit more in shape. He comes in more overweight, loses the fight, and then we don't see him for, shoot, I forgot how long, but he did. It was almost like he went on a mini retirement. But just to bring this thing full circle, man, with Pitbull Cruz, I don't think he's the next big thing. I think he'll be exactly what he is now. He'll be exactly what he is now. A good, entertaining fighter that can win some good fights, but I don't think he'll ever win the great fights. I think he's going to have a good career. We're going to be highly entertained. And he'll go down as, a great warrior. in the ring, in the sport. Let's see. Looking and putting watch on Pitbull to watch in Mexican fighter Mexico boxing style other than Canelo, who top tier Mexican style boxing. The thing about Pitbull, man, is I think people really gravitated towards him because they really hate Tank Davis, which is cool. That's fine. Hate Tank Davis all you want. I don't care. I'm not saying I love the guy. But there's something that my boy BNB said. He said it a while back on his YouTube channel. And when he said that, it kind of stuck with me. And I forgot what he said word for word, but I'm going to go ahead and just kind of paraphrase what he was saying. And what he was saying, dog, is that you got a lot of these guys that hate Tank Davis, right? And they want like a Mexican to beat them. And what's really happening is that you got a lot of Mexican fighters that are actually bowing to Tank Davis. Leo Santa Cruz moved up to fight Tank Davis. Mario Barrios took a rehydration clause and didn't say a word. He didn't say anything until later on. Ryan Garcia, they're the stipulations he took to fight Tank Davis. So you got a lot of these Mexican fighters, man, that are treating Tank Davis like a star. Agreeing to these stipulations. You ain't got to call yourself a star, Holmes. You know what? If people start treating you like that, it's like, hey, you know what? If you want to fight me, these are the stipulations. Hey, either kick sticks, dog, or you take the stipulations. But if you start taking the stipulations, Mexican fighter after Mexican fighter after Mexican fighter doing these things, hey, dog, then guess what? You're calling him a star. You're calling him a star with your actions. And I think that is kind of what blew up Pitbull Cruz, man. And it's crazy because he blew up off of a loss. And since then, like I said, he fought a washed-up Yuriokis Gamboa and Eduardo Ramirez. He hasn't fought this year at all. But he's got a fight coming up in the undercard of Spence and Crawford against Giovanni Cabrera. And I'm picking Pitbull to win that fight. And after that fight, I'm pretty sure they're going to be calling out Tank Davis. So, whether that fight happens or not, I don't know, man. Let me see what you guys are saying. Only A+ fighters can beat Pitbull. The kid has no neck and solid as a rock. Hey, I'll tell you, man, not having a neck in boxing really helps. You ever see fighters that have, you know, they look like a giraffe? They got the long necks. Doesn't help. It doesn't help, man. See, he won 4 rounds against Tank and made other rounds close on 2-week notice. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that, Mario. Let's not forget that, man. But, you know, let's also not forget that Tank won, and the way the PBC treats Tank, if they were to get into the ring again, if Pitbull does not knock out, or at the very least knock down, numerous of times, by the way, not just once. If he knocks Tank Davis down just once, I don't think that's enough. But he's got to knock him down at the very least, in my opinion, 2 times. If not, knock him out. There's no way he's getting a decision over Tank Davis. And he actually spending his money wisely. He's buying properties and has a construction company. Hey, those Matador, that's good, man. That's good. If that's what he's doing, that's good, man. That's a wise investment. If he's into that, so be it. Might be an indicator that his whole heart, his whole passion isn't in the sport of boxing. I think Danny Garcia started moving over towards music. And look, man, it's boxing. It's got to be your passion. It's got to be all the way in. Now, don't get me wrong. You got to plan for your career or for your life after boxing. I know Josecito Lopez, I know his cousin, and I was talking to him the other day, and Josecito Lopez, the Riverside Rock, he started his own trucking company. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with planning for your career after boxing. But when it comes to Andy Ruiz, man, his passion just isn't there. I don't see it like that. He's got good skills. He definitely got good skills. Let's see, Dan, we're running low on Mexican boxers to watch. Which brings me to my next question. Is Chicano boxing on the come up? I say this because I look forward to watching Vargas boys fight. You know what? Okay, those Vargas boys, man. First of all, the funniest thing about seeing the Vargas boys fight is the interviews afterwards, because Fernando jumps in there and he's all like, yeah, vato, you know, I tell my little chavalitos, Holmes. I tell my little chamacos, man, hey, if you vatos really want this, man, you got to show me, Holmes. You got to show me, ese. Oh, man. That's the most. And by the way, the Vargas, the Vargas kids, man, they are good. They are good. I do like watching them fight, man. But I always look forward to the post interviews after the ring, because Fernando always wants to get in there, and they always got to put the mic to Fernando, right? I mean, they're asking his kids too, but they see that Fernando is in there. They're like, Fernando, what do you think about his performance tonight? And how did you motivate him? Or, you know, what'd you say? Fernando will always be like, you know what? I just tell him, like, hey, vato, if you really want this, con ganas, you got to show me, Holmes. You got to show me, vato. I'm not sure you really want this, Holmes. Nah, man, those kids, you know what? There's definitely someone to keep an eye on. I know, just for the sake of this conversation, we eliminated Virgil Ortiz because we don't know exactly yet if he's going to come back in full force. If he does come back 100%, my money is all in on Virgil Ortiz. But we don't know that yet. Yes, we know he's moving up to 154. We don't know how his body is going to respond. We have no idea if he's even going to be able to do this sport ever again. You know, we'll find out soon, hopefully. But no, I do like the Vargas kids. Diego Pachenko, it's very early with that guy. Very early. People needs a big knockout to get a big fight to even try to get Tank investment so they keep him safe. Yeah, and Pitbull to fight. I can, because I truly believe that he knows that the judges will never give it to Pitbull. It's like show movie, all serious but funny. 126 and 130, full of good Mexican boxers. Caesar G, you're right. Okay, you are right. The only thing that I'm saying is it's pretty difficult. Okay, I'm talking about once Canelo either starts losing or once he hangs it up. And it's a little difficult in the sport of boxing to take over boxing when you're in those smaller weight classes. Now, don't blame me, Holmes, because honestly, a lot of those fights are a heck of a lot more entertaining. The speed, the punches, the exchanges, the gas tanks that these guys got. They're not, huffing and puffing and running out of gas going into the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th round. So a lot of these, 130 and under, a lot of those fights are actually the fights to be watching, man. But it's pretty hard. If we're just going to be honest, Holmes, it's pretty hard for one of those guys to become the guy in boxing. But if we go, if we go down to those small weight classes, look, Bam Rodriguez is pretty badass. I don't want to see him at 112 anymore. I want to see him at 115. I like Bam Rodriguez. But again, will he ever become a mega star? Fighting at 112, 115, 118, 122 even? Probably not. I'm going to go off on a limb here, man. And I believe you're probably going to have to be welterweight or above. Maybe even 135. We'll go 135, 140 and heavier than that. 135 and above. Once you get to the lower weight classes, man, Holmes, I just don't see somebody that small really being the next face, really being the next guy to take over. It just is. Great fights, exciting, absolutely. But being like the face of boxing, nah. So little Bam versus Estrada, come on, dog. Come on. Come on, Holmes. Are you kidding me? Shoot, homie. With all these, trash pay-per-views that they keep on trying to sell us, Bam versus Estrada. Come on, dog. Way is on his way to be a megastar. Tank came from 126, I think. Yeah, I think he did come from 126. And in a way, I like in a way. We'll see what happens again when he fights Stephen Fulton. That's going to be something, dog. That's a fight that nobody's talking about right now. But that should be a banger, dog. Sadio, what's up, Hectic? But that should definitely be a banger, dog. Monster Anyway against Stephen Fulton. Man, that's one to watch. And let's see what happens with Brandon Figueroa, man. He's down there too. But anyway, guys, chingones, just to put a fine little bow on this. What's up, Joaquin? Shout outs to New Mexico, homie. Bam is the most talented. Mariano Vargas is the most marketable. That kid is a promoter's dream. Yeah, man. I mean, they are, dog. I mean, we do got some fighters coming up. That's for damn sure. How many Mexican legends in boxing, lower weight classes, America and Mexico, most champions in history of the game. I agree. You're 100% correct. You are 100% correct. However, However, I'm not looking to be a Debbie Downer, Holmes. You know, Canelo has been doing this in weight classes that, let's be honest, man, in the history of boxing, um, Mexican fighters aren't really doing it in any of these weight classes. Why? Because they're just smaller guys. When Canelo decides to hang it up, when he decides to retire, or when he just, he loses the eye of the tiger and he starts losing, it's going to be pretty damn tough, dog, for somebody to look at a fighter at 122 pounds and say, that's the next big thing in boxing. It's a little difficult in the sport of boxing, especially today, I would say, to be fighting 112, 115, 118, 122, maybe even 126, and become a mega star. I'm not talking about a star. I'm talking about a mega star. I'm talking about what Canelo is today. I just don't see somebody doing that if they're fighting at 122, 118 pounds. Be a star? Yeah. Yeah, you could be a star. Be a mega star? Nah, I'm not so sure. Be the star? Yeah, no. It's sad, Holmes, but for the most part, it's true. And like I said, I like those small fighters, dog. I really do. Some of the best fights. A lot of action. A lot of speed. A lot of snap to the punches. A lot of great combinations. Guys not huffing and puffing. Their conditioning is top notch all the way to the end of the fight. But it's just a little bit more difficult for somebody who's fighting at 115, 118, for some of those guys, man, to become the mega star that Canelo is. Let me see. The only thing is going to be on a Tuesday. It's going to be on one. Is it a Tuesday or a Thursday that fight's going to be? Yeah, because it's taking place in Japan. I know is Boxing King straight up. We make house parties around his fights, so I know what you mean by the Yeah, exactly, man. Gil Joy Knuckles. Hey, but with that. Just want to come on here real quick, man. This was not me trying to bash Pitbull Cruz. I like Pitbull Cruz. I think he's going to be a good fighter, and he's going to go down as, very entertaining and a true warrior. He's just not, to me, dog, he's just not going to be the next big thing. I like him. Very fun to watch. Very, very fun to watch. And we could see some really good fights of his, but no, man, no. But anyway, chingones and chingonas, man. With that, I'll let you guys be, man. I'll catch you guys on next round. Los Tres Chingones Boxing. I'll catch you guys then.